You can find the front wiper motor used in the video on the CarParts.com website via the link in the description. Turn your engine off and set the parking brake. Pull on the hood release lever and open the hood. Now you need to remove the wiper blade arms. Before doing this, position a piece of adhesive tape to keep track of their end-of-stroke location so that you can position them correctly when reassembling. Using a fork, remove the nut covers from the wiper blade arms. Using a ratchet and a 17mm socket, loosen the nuts. Remove the wiper blade arms by gently levering up and down. If they are not moving, we recommend using a wiper arm puller to make the operation easier. Remove the windshield frame seal by pulling on it from one end to the other. Using a fork, remove the various rivets holding the windshield frame. Disconnect the washer pump fluid hose. You can now lift the first part of the windshield frame on the passenger side. Next, unclip the second part of the windshield frame on the driver's side. Remove the assembly. You now have access to the wiper linkage assembly. Using a ratchet and a 10mm socket, unscrew the bolt holding the mechanism next to the wiper motor. Use the same tools to unscrew the two bolts on the passenger side. Using a fork, unclip the wiper motor's power supply harness. You can now remove the mechanism to gain easier access to the wiper motor's connectors. Disconnect the power connector from the wiper motor. Grip the wiper linkage assembly in a vise. Before dismantling the assembly, memorize the position of the various items in order to put them back in place in the same way on the new motor. We advise you to take photos. There is an arrow on the metal bracket aligned with the markings of the wiper linkage mount to help you put the assembly back in the initial position when reassembling. Using a 17mm wrench, loosen the metal bracket nut that connects the linkage to the motor. Using a fork, pry the part of the wiper linkage that is connected to the motor so that it can be disengaged from the ball joint. Finish unscrewing the nut by hand and retrieve the split ring lock washer. You must now disengage the metal bracket from the wiper motor. If prying it does not work, you can use a wiper arm puller. Hey, it's Alex from CarParts.com. If you enjoyed this video and want to support us, like, comment, and subscribe. Okay, back to work. Using a 10mm wrench or a ratchet and a 10mm socket, unscrew the 3 bolts holding the motor to the wiper linkage mount. You can now separate the wiper linkage from the wiper motor. You can find the front wiper motor used in the video on the CarParts.com website via the link in the description. Unscrew the wiper motor nut. Take the new wiper motor. Reconnect the motor. Important step. To set the motor and wiper mechanism to the 0 position, turn on the ignition and activate the wiper motor until it stops. The motor will then be in the 0 position. Next, turn off the engine. Disconnect the wiper motor connector. Install the new motor in the vise. position the new wiper linkage on the wiper motor. Once in place, screw the 3 bolts holding the motor to the wiper linkage mount back on. Position the metal bracket on the wiper motor actuator by respecting the position of the arrow in relation to the markings on the wiper linkage mount. Once in place, screw the retaining nut back on by hand. Finish tightening with a wrench. If it is not supplied with the new parts, retrieve the rubber protection on the old one and install it on the metal bracket ball joint. Reposition the wiper linkage in the previously photographed position. Then insert the wiper linkage into the metal bracket ball joint. As this is a difficult step, we recommend applying silicone grease to the ball joint and applying pressure with adjustable pliers to facilitate insertion of the wiper linkage into the ball joint. The preparation of the new part is now complete. Take the wiper motor assembly and reconnect it. Clip the wiring harness back on. Put the wiper motor assembly back in its slot. Once in place, screw the 3 retaining bolts back on with a ratchet. Now you can put the windshield frames back in place and press them into place. Reconnect the washer pump fluid hose. Then put the rivets back in place. Put the seal back in place. Reassemble the wiper blade arms without tightening too much. Reassemble the nut covers. Operation complete.